welcome to No Look Reviews, where we watch United games so you don't have to. This week we had a couple of mixed results, and we're going to start off with the moment of silence in advance for Ten Hag. Okay, that was good enough. After watching what happened against Bournemouth, I'm pretty sure we're going to go through a lot worse against Bayern Munich and Liverpool. And he might just get sacked like every other manager after a really big defeat against Liverpool. So, going on with the trends that we have been following for the past few years, I can see it happening. It's unfortunate. It's the same set of players that throw our managers under the bus. And, yeah, I mean, Ten Hag has made some mistakes, but he's a good manager. I believe in him. I think if we have a proper structure up top, he can probably succeed as a manager. But, again, we don't want to focus on that, and we always just focus on what's been done and not on the players and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, you have anything to add to that, or do we just want to go on to the games?
When people have beef, right? Like people who start podcasts, like sometimes they break up. Sometimes the podcast stop. This time I don't think like this. Okay, this game brought me real close to ending the podcast once and for all. It's not because we have any beef.
I mean, I told you too I was going to retire right after.
Yeah, it's not because we have any beef. It's just that this game was so bad that I want to stop watching United. Like, I don't want to watch United anymore.
It's not worth covering.
It's not worth covering, and it's not that I don't like podcasting. Like, I love it. Like, this is something new, and like I love this hobby. But fuck United, man. They're so ass. Fuck.
I mean, he's not wrong. We're pretty shit. Watching the game, during the game, after the game, we were just talking shit about the team. It's the same set of players that performs against Chelsea. We win, come off a really good performance. One of the best performances from a Premier League team this season, according to the expected goals.
Yeah.
And then we do this. Like, the same players. It's the same exact squad.
It's the same lineup, man.
It's the same fucking lineup.
Holy shit.
And then, it makes no sense at all to me, to him, to any other Man United player. It's the same thing that happens. We come off a big win. We perform. We play a good game. Maybe a couple of games that we play well. And then out of nowhere, our team just stops doing the things that they do. They forget the basics. Mm-hmm. We can't even do the basics during the games. Like, we stop running. You saw Rashford today. He's a perfect example of this. I mean, Goldbridge talked about it in his United stand or whatever, his reactions. We discussed about it. A lot of people probably talked about it. Yeah. Rashford the past 4 months has ran nothing, done nothing. No running at all whatsoever in any of the games. And then today he comes on, runs continuously for the 10 minutes that he was on the pitch, but he was still crying like a baby in the box after every touch that he got. Same exact thing that he normally does, but it's funny to see. That's what happens. Like, we have a good performance. Everyone's running. Everyone's doing the job that they're supposed to do, listening to the instructions of the manager, probably the same things that Ten Hag told him to do. But the next game, we just stop. Out of nowhere, we just stopped doing the things that we did well. We saw Amrabat do what Rashford did last week or a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Just jogging back after making a dumb fucking mistake and losing the ball. Or even just not watching his man. He's a CDM, for fuck's sake. That's all he's supposed to do.
Look at
we brought him in.
Look at his position.
Yeah, he's playing cam.
He was the furthest player up the pitch when that happened.
And then it just makes no sense. We brought him in because he's an energetic midfielder that can bring some solidity to our defense. But I guess not. It just makes no sense. I just don't know, but
all right, so I want to cover something because of this result.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years since Sorak's retired. It's been 10 years since we've actually been good. And today, ironically, December 9th, is the 10-year anniversary where David Moyes said the following: Manchester United has to improve in the following areas: attacking, passing, and defending. It's been 10 years, Ahil. What the fuck? What the actual fuck?
I don't know why you didn't say the midfield. The midfield is pretty bad, but I guess
passing
is
that's the midfield. But
so everything.
And this has happened, like you mentioned. It's happened for David Moyes. The players stopped performing. We had a different set of players under Louis van Gaal. They stopped performing.
Yep.
We had a different set of players under Jose Mourinho. They stopped performing for him. Then we get Ollie. You finally think, okay, maybe things are changing. And then, same thing happens to Ollie. They throw him under the bus, and you don't even think that would happen to him because he's a man manager. Like, he's basically everyone's best friend, and they stop performing for him. And then Eric Ten Hag comes in. We actually, so we started off terribly.
Yeah.
And we pick up results. Like, we go on an insane run.
Yeah.
We win a trophy. And then this happens to him again. And it's the same players who played for Ten Hag last season that threw him under the bus. And some of them were there under Jose. Some of them were there under Van Gaal. Some of them were there.
There's a lot of common factors.
Yeah,
here. Just it's the same trend that we're following. Play a couple good games and then just go back to shit.
Yeah.
No consistency whatsoever. Whatever that mentality is, whatever the culture is in the dressing room, there's obviously something wrong there, or some set of players that are not carrying the right mindset. And it's just I don't know. It just we again, open heart surgery, director of football. We need to bring in someone that clears out a lot of these people, like the recruiters, the scouts, the team, the players, maybe the medical staff. Like, there's a lot of things that
top to bottom. It needs clearing out.
Yeah.
And we know it's not going to happen because as long as the Glazers are running the club, like, they're not going to spend money out of their own pocket. It's never going to happen.
Nope.
And Sir Jim, like, no matter whatever you think about him, like, sure, like, it's like he's good, whatever, but I don't think he's going to spend that much cash. Like, because he's also going to think of it as a business, right? Like, his main goal is to make sure that whatever valuation he's going to buy United for now is going to be that valuation 3-4 years time, and he's not going to spend money out of his own pocket. Like, he's going to try to find other ways to do that. Maybe like sell all these high value players like Varane, Casemiro, Sancho, like players he can still get money for, and then try to invest that money instead of putting his own money in. So as long as these people are in charge, like, that's what's going to happen. Like, we're just going to be a mid-table club. And I have one more question, Nigel. So, before this season started, what were your honest predictions? Like, honestly, like, what did you think was going to happen this season?
I thought this was the season. This was the season that United actually come back to kind of consistent performances. We ended off the last season in a good way. We signed the players we kind of wanted to. Of course, it's every year that we have key signings that we want to make, but we don't always get all of them, and we have makeshift signings. But this year, we at least, Ten Hag kind of got what he wanted. We got a number 9. We got the goalkeeper that we wanted. The only position that we didn't really strengthen is the CDM position. Amrabat was obviously a makeshift signing. De Jong was the key one that we really wanted to. I thought we would come back to consistent performances. I thought that we maybe win a trophy and get top 4. Maybe put in a good performance in the Champions League. At least get out of the knockout stage and then move on to the quarters maybe. Around the 16 or quarters. I didn't think that we'd make it too much further than that. I thought Rashford would perform. That would give Garnacho more competition too. Like, it would be good for both of them. On the right, we had Sancho and Anthony, and then Bruno in the middle. Like, we had a decent squad. We had Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, and then like on the right back, like a good competition going on. So like a good balance of 2 players. But
But you know what? I thought the same. I thought we would actually do well this season. But let me tell you why we're both delusional.
Delulu.
We're so delulu because ever since we won the Carabao Cup, if you look at our form, we've had a mid-table team form. Like, you said that we finished the season well. We did it. Like, we actually did it. It was the same form as we are in right now. Like, sure, like, we're 6th on the table. Yeah. But that was the form we were in. We finished 3rd because we had a good start to the season. But ever since we won the cup, that's how form's been. Like, we've been like a mid-table to like a 6th, 7th position club since.
Yeah.
I mean, that was always gonna happen. Like, the writing was on the wall. Like, these players can't be consistent. They cannot be consistent at all.
I was honestly surprised when we won the final. I did not think we'd beat Newcastle, because even though Newcastle's a lot better this year than they were last year, I still thought Newcastle was a strong team. They're consistent. They wanted to fight for the badge. The players wanted to fight there. And they had a couple star performers still there, like Isaac and all of them are still there. So they haven't made too many changes to that formation or to that team. So I thought they would win, but obviously we kind of pulled off. Like, and I was surprised, like, because our team really doesn't perform when it comes to the big games.
Yeah.
And that was one of the surprises. But you know what? Since then, we've seen what we expected. Not exactly what we expected, but kind of what always happens. And yeah, but like it's just crazy to compare like what we did on Wednesday versus what we did today on Saturday against Bournemouth. Chelsea game and Bournemouth game was two different games. It's crazy how Amrabat could could dominate a midfield of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, two very high pressing, high energy midfielders that can like do their thing. Obviously, they're missing Gallagher, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
How much of a difference?
I mean, they replaced Gallagher with Palmer, so it's not that big of a difference.
Yeah,
right?
it's not like the craziest difference. They are two very different players. Like Gallagher is the one that's relentless, that runs around the pitch a lot more, and Palmer's the more technical guy. But it makes no sense how we just come off of a great performance and then just go shut down.
Yeah.
Is it a problem with our egos? Like, do we just think that the other teams are not good enough? Like Bournemouth's a mid-table team and we just don't give a shit about them?
Yeah.
Again, mentality.
It's mentality.
I don't know. We just don't have those leaders, obviously, in the club, in the team itself.
Mm.
The people that we expect to lead, like Rashford, just don't.
Yeah.
They set a good example outside the team, I guess, with MBE and whatnot, whatever the fuck he's done. Respect to him, no disrespect, I guess, but again, not good enough. It's just not good enough, and it's just not even worth talking about. I don't even know what to fucking say. Like, Shaw playing the best game, like, not the best game, but like one of his best games in his life against Chelsea, and then coming back to fucking Bournemouth and just shitting the bed. Bruno doing the same. The only consistent performer was Anthony.
Yeah.
And Garnacho, I guess.
Garnacho to some extent. Although today,
he did make mistakes. He didn't play his best game, but he was still trying his thing. Like when he came off, like you could see that he was tired. Like he put everything out on the pitch and like he played his game. But it just, I don't know, man. It just, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you can go ahead and say what you want. But yeah,
I think we said enough about these players. Like we all know how they are. There's some that they are trying, but there's not enough trying, and that's the reason why we're gonna be a mid-table team. Like until drastic changes happen, which they won't. So we're gonna be a mid-table team. We're gonna have talents like Menu, Garnacho, Hoyland, like talents like these. I just don't want to
waste them, man.
They would make it anywhere in the world. Like they would, but they're not gonna like. Maybe Garnacho and Hoyland to some extent might go on and have good careers, but I think Menu's going to be wasted completely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel bad for him because he has so much potential, but
I want Ten Hag to bring on these youngsters from our academy because our main team's not performing. Like, bring them on. But he brought up a good point when he said, okay, these kids are going to come into a losing team, going to lose confidence, and then they're going to ruin their careers. But some of them might be fighters, some of them might kind of take advantage of that and work on him and kind of learn from it, but others obviously could take the path that you said. So
I mean, you just look at Martial and Rashford. You see how they were when they came into the club. Like you see Martial's first season in United, how he was on fire. Rashford similarly comes in,
scores
big games, big
games,
right? So
Arsenal,
Man City, and then it just I don't know. It's sad. It's sad to see how their careers have gone, and I used to defend United to some extent, and people used to say, "Oh, this is just a shit place for youngsters to come in." But I agree. It is. If you're just being honest, it's a terrible place to be for youngsters right now. But that's it, right? I don't even know what else we can talk about this team. They're just inconsistent. There's a lot of bad apples that need to leave.
I am gonna give Ten Hag some criticism. He doesn't make subs. Bruno's playing shit, just sub him off. I don't care if he's the best player in our team, the only player that maybe creates chances. What the fuck are we doing if we're, just, maybe, I don't know. He's not playing well. Just take him off. What the fuck are we going to do? What's going to happen? It's not worth keeping him on the pitch. And then McTominay, sure, you keep him, he plays CDM, but then he's never in our box, just the other side of the pitch. And he's not scoring a goal. So, if he's not taking a good touch, if he's not kind of helping out with the midfield or scoring a goal, then what is he doing on the pitch, right? He's not even tracking back a lot of times. Amrabat being left to dead, can't blame him too much. He tried to play the game that he does, but again, it's just weird, man. But
I mean, to end off like this Man United segment for this week,
Yeah.
I saw somewhere online that the Liverpool game should only be broadcasted to viewers over 18 years old. 'Cause things are gonna get spicy. And not for us.
As one famous personality mentioned, United get fucked like a bunch of porn. I fucking love Goldbridge, man. He says the word craziest shit. Just compare United to a couple porn stars getting gangbanged and shit. It's
true.
It's true. It's very true, but it's hilarious. But yeah. I mean, let's move on. Fuck this. I don't want to talk about United.
So I don't want to talk about United further. So let's end off with the clown of the week and player of the week,
Yeah,
so we can move on to the good stuff that happened this week. All right, who's your player of the week, Ahil?
For me, it's Anthony. He really came back.
Yeah.
Came back from his injury, suspension, whatever. Like, it had a lot of inconsistent performances, but now he's doing things right. He's energetic. He's running up and down the pitch. He's making the right passes. He even dribbled around 2 or 3 players today, like taking on 2 defenders at the same time and actually getting away from them. We haven't seen that in a long fucking time from anyone in our club. It's crazy, and that's what he's brought in for. That's his skill set, and I appreciate him trying his best and like kind of coming back. Like his mentality's showing, right? That's the type of fighting spirit that we kind of need. Even though the rest of the team played like shit against Bournemouth, Anthony still performed consistently, and he did what he did at Chelsea. I didn't see too many differences. Even at Galatasaray, he played really well.
He played really well.
So, for me, it's him, but yeah, I that's really it.
Yeah.
Who would you say?
I would give it to Garnacho. Like
Okay.
similar to what you said, both games against Chelsea and Bournemouth. Like you could tell he was trying really hard. Things came off better against Chelsea than they did against Bournemouth, but like he's our player, right? Like he's our academy graduate, and we should I want to support him. I think he's such a good talent.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate how good he can actually be.
Yeah.
Like people think that he's not gonna be like an elite winger, like if he's developed correctly, but he has all the skill sets in the world, and he has the mentality and the confidence to do so.
Yeah.
And Garnacho's my player of the week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who the fuck says that he's not gonna make it to an elite winger. The only thing holding him back is playing at United.
Yeah.
So that's that. But yeah, moving on to clown of the week. I just don't know. I wanted to give it to the whole team, but this man right here told me to give it to one person, pick one player. And after today's performance, one of the main culprits, I guess, or one of the biggest culprits in our performances today was Martial. All I saw him doing the whole game. First thing I saw, he received a pass, bad touch. Second time,
it's one of those flailing.
Yeah, the flailing
balloons,
balloon thing. I was gonna say that. That's what my next point was. But then again, got across in the box, didn't fight for the ball at all. Didn't even try. The defender just leaped over him, got the ball, cleared it. What did he do? Then he did it a bunch of times. It's just the funniest shit. Sometimes it's one hand, sometimes it's both hands. Just crying all the time. Like, I get when people say his mentality is shit.
Yeah.
He is not the player he used to be. He has the talent still. He can still move around with the ball, but I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
He's not trying to do the things that he can do. So
I don't know, man.
That's it for me.
Like these players growing up, I'm sure they were the players in their teams who used to take the ball and
just carry it across the field.
Just do something with it. Like carry their teams, and they come to United and they forget everything. Like when when things are going tough, grow some balls, man. Like fuck.
Nope.
Do something, man. Do something with the ball. Just don't stand there and expect things to come to you. Like sometimes you just gotta create things for yourself.
Yeah. As one big personality also said.
Oh.
The men in this day and age are just don't have the mentality. There's strong mentalities.
Is this Roy Keane?
No.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can relate to that in this context.
Yeah, in this context. But otherwise, fuck the guy. Whatever. Weirdo. We do not support him at all. I was just bringing up this shit because it's funny. But yeah. Who do you pick for your? Let's move on.
I'm gonna pick
Okay.
I think Dallo's just been shit. Like defensively, he's not it.
No, not at all.
He was at fault against Galatasaray. Even against Chelsea, we were lucky to be honest in the first half that Mudryk missed his chance because Dalot was nowhere to be seen. That was his guy. It could have been a completely different game if it was for Dalot and his mistakes.
Yeah.
But even today, I don't know, like even like you put him in the team because like you think he's a good asset in terms of like building attacks and stuff. But today, it's clear like he has a good cutback to Hoyland. Hoyland can score. It's 1-1. The game could be different. We might actually win. We might have some momentum.
No, why would he do that?
But that's what I'm saying. Like why would he do, like why would anyone pass to Hoyland?
Yeah, why?
Why?
The fuck's he gonna do?
Why would you pass to the only striker on the team that's actually good?
Yeah, the fuck's he gonna do?
I don't know, man. But yeah, like and I feel bad for Hoyland. Like I think there's been a lot of games this season that people have decided not to pass to him when he's in a good position, and you could tell that he's frustrated. And honestly, if I was in his place, I probably would have gone for some of these people. Like
I know what you would have done.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah, so it's sad, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why these people are so selfish. Like you brought up ego, I think that's exactly it. Like everyone wants to be the star, and like no one wants to play for the team, and that's the reason why we're so shit and we're so inconsistent.
I kind of respect the selfishness in players sometimes. Like at least strikers, like
Yeah.
you go for a goal, I get it. You're the guy who's supposed to score the goals.
Yeah.
Dalot, you're not fucking supposed to score the goals, man. You've scored 2 or 3 crazy, insane goals in your career. Sure, amazing. You have that talent. You can attack. You can score. But like, come on, bro. When there's a better person there, there's a better option there, and you, man, come on.
But you know why else he should think that he should never take a shot in that position? Because
Because
he
he
hit it
missed.
off target.
Yeah, and he missed it before too.
Hit it the keeper at least, man. Like
Yeah.
you think you're good enough to score, then at least hit the target. What the fuck are you doing?
You remember those Ronaldo highlights when Ronaldo left? He
Yeah.
assisted Dalot, and Dalot did the same thing.
Same
He was
thing.
on target, but didn't go in. So, yes, just stop doing that, Dalot. It's not your
Just pass, man.
position.
Just pass when you see the fucking striker.
You can defend, at least attack properly, but yeah.
Like at least like if you pass and Hoyland doesn't score, you're not the one that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like you did your job.
Yeah.
Like do your job. Like you're there to create and be useful in the build up, so do that.
He plays pretty high up the pitch. I don't know what the instructions are with him because he plays so high up the pitch he can never track back in time. And
Yeah.
Maguire, being the slowest person on earth, tries to cover up for it, or someone else. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we get caught.
And then we have no one to cover
Again,
up for Maguire.
yeah,
so.
that's the biggest thing, right? I always say we are disorganized at the back whenever we're
Yeah.
defending a counterattack or whatever type of attack. We're disorganized, but the main reason why we are is because no one's in position.
Yeah.
No one really tracks back and comes into back into the position. Okay, this has gone for too long. We should just move on.
Yeah,
Fuck
let's
United.
move on. Let's move on to the
Fuck
title
United.
race.
Yeah, we're moving
Alright.
on to title race. You start. I can't.
Okay, so I watched both Arsenal games this weekend,
Mhm.
or this match week, I would say. Against Luton, I thought they were very lucky to have a win. Like, obviously, like they have a fighting spirit.
Yeah.
You've seen that multiple times this season, the amount of late winners that they've had.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, Luton were good. Luton were really
They
good.
played their game.
Yeah, they were really good. It's just that tired legs, defended for 90 minutes, and then,
Yeah.
you concede that final goal.
It's
again.
mainly the counters that they made, and like they played against Arsenal, and Arsenal control, but like they defended well.
Yeah.
They were actually disciplined and organized, and like you haven't. The thing is with Luton, like they do play their game. They're disciplined. They're organized. They defend a low block,
Yeah.
but they never really scored goals. And this
Yeah.
time they scored
They
three
scored
fucking
three.
goals against
True.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like the runners up, right? Like it's crazy. Like they're top of the table, and you're fighting against that team. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's really interesting how a relegation team can play that well against Arsenal. But yeah, it's
And then, like, eventually it catches up to you. So
Yeah.
they go on and lose to Villa today.
Yeah.
I watched that game too. Villa were really solid defensively. They
Mhm.
did well to get that early goal.
yeah.
Arsenal, to be fair, they
created their chances.
They try to create a lot, but, like, sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it doesn't. And this time it didn't go for them. And,
Yeah.
Villa, 15, I think, with this. 15 home wins in a row.
Yeah.
I think this is the record. Like, this is the best home run they've had in their history. So, good luck to them. Unai Emery, great manager. We've seen that now. And good evening to him and his team.
Good evening.
Good evening.
But yeah, Villa's been crazy good this season, man. It's crazy to see how this started the season, and then our own guy Fergie. He actually that clip's been going around everywhere. Everyone's probably seen it already.
Yeah.
Like Villa is going to be an exciting team to watch, and they are.
Yeah.
My real thing is for Villa is that I feel like this might be that same season like Leicester City. you can quote me on this at the end of the season, but I feel like because of all the inconsistent performances from all the top teams, like the top 6 or whatever, Villa might win the league. Because Villa is consistent. Villa has the players and the play style that they need. They've set up on it. They're playing it well. McGinn's a big game player. Bailey's performing.
Ollie
Watkins is performing. They have a good striker, a good defense. Pau Torres is up and down, but like he's still performing. He's playing the game that Unai Emery wants him to play. It's really interesting how this season might end up. It might be the same season as Leicester City. Inconsistent performances from the top 6 and some random team wins the league.
Could be.
Yeah, no disrespect. I'm not trying to say Villa's a random team. Yeah. They've earned the respect that they get. But, yeah, again... And then, you saw that even before the Arsenal game. They beat Man City, the champions.
And that was a really good game.
Those are 2 big games back-to-back that they won. City only had, 2 or 3 shots on goal?
3 shots, I think, yeah.
That's crazy.
And you count how many Villa had.
And, bro, it was like 20 plus. 26 or something? I forgot the something actual stat. I remember while looking at it, but... Yeah. It's kind of crazy how you play against the champions that well, and then you play against Arsenal, the runners-up, that well. It's crazy. Your initial reaction would be, they're the underdogs, they're probably going to lose, but they don't. They fought, they kept the spirits up, got a close win, obviously 1-0, not the biggest win, but they won. Yeah, it's the 3 points, it's 6 points for them in 6, and that's that.
And now City have a chance tomorrow to close the gap a bit because of this loss. They play Luton. I think they're going to win. But that was City. City again. Like it's maybe they might not do 4 in a row.
I hope not, but you never know. Like the thing is, this season everyone's inconsistent. Tottenham was supposed to win the league. You saw what happened.
That's the history of the Tottenham.
Yeah.
All right.
But Villa, it could happen with them as well. I hope not. I hope it'll be fun to see someone different win, right? I
would love it.
Yeah, it would be funny.
And they're a big team. Like people don't remember, but historically they've been a big club. So and Villa Park has been a big stadium. If they win, it'll be nice to see for the neutrals for sure.
Yeah, but that's going to be a good fight. And then but we can move on from Villa now onto Liverpool. 2 wins in 2 against Sheffield and against Palace. There was a close game against Palace, but Jordan Ayew, whatever, Ayew, just wanted to put up a tackle that he probably shouldn't and didn't really need to. Get the red card, loses his team the game. I mean, it was the first goal was Salah was like not really the best goal, scrappy goal. But Harvey Elliott, come on,
what a strike!
Banger of a goal, stoppage time, and then Diaz also scored, but it was offside. So it was nice to see. Like Liverpool's also doing interesting things. Yeah, they're at the top of the table. Took advantage of Arsenal losing, and
as much as I want Villa to win, I think it's probably going to be Liverpool. Just because they have a knack of getting these late scrappy goals, and they will get that because they have Mohamed Salah. Like he's that guy. He's that guy. He's him.
He is him. He is him right now. But the thing is, I see holes in Liverpool's game. Yeah. And I think the right type of team can take advantage of those holes. Yeah. And that sounds so wrong on so many levels. But taking advantage of holes. And Liverpool might not really get the best. I mean, the second half of the season's still left. We still have a lot of games to go. But a lot of people did say Liverpool might win. I just think Villa might edge it. I don't know. It's a long shot. If I bet money on it, I might go with Villa because that would be a big play and I would get a lot of money if I win.
Not anymore. I think the odds are probably lower now.
I think they still have high odds. Yeah. It's still pretty good odds probably. But it is what it is. That was Liverpool's week. Yeah. You want to talk about Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle,
the funniest things happened in the...
Kieran Trippier, their captain, someone who has been in good form, to be honest.
Amazing, consistent player, senior player.
And he decides to do Thiago Silva this week.
Yeah.
That's Thiago Silva against Newcastle is Kieran Trippier against Everton.
3-0.
Involved in all 3 goals. And, I don't know, Everton are out of the relegation zone. That's the surprising part, and I love it for Everton.
Yeah.
They whatever financial fair play charge, whatever. It's one charge, 115 about City. What are you gonna do about it? The hearing is next year. Yeah. The hearing about the 115 charges that have been charged already at sometime last season is next year, whereas Everton, who got charged this year, got their punishment this year, and and they're out of the relegation zone. And I think Sean Dyche has done an amazing job. Like, he would be, honestly, I think if Everton survive this season, which I think they will, like, he's gonna be my manager of the season just because of the work he's done. If you look at Everton last season, they're almost gonna get relegated again under Lampard.
Yep.
Sean Dyche comes in, takes over, keeps them up, and now, if they didn't have this point deduction, they would be over Chelsea.
Yeah, they would be like mid table.
They would be 10th. The last I
checked,
checked, they would be 10th in the table. He's done an amazing job.
10 points is so crazy, bro. It's just I still can't get over it. It's kind of crazy for one financial fair play charge. You get 10 points off, and then City just gets nothing.
And how many times have Chelsea gotten these charges, and what they get is transfer bans? Everton got deducted points. Why? Because they're a smaller club than Chelsea.
It's crazy.
I don't know. It's all about money in the Premier League.
Yeah.
These clowns.
Well, I mean, obviously everything's corrupt. FIFA's corrupt. UEFA's corrupt.
Yeah.
This stuff is also probably corrupt. VAR's probably corrupt. Referees used to be corrupt. There's a lot of things that happen. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a lot to talk about, but yeah, all respect to Everton. They beat Newcastle, a big team. Newcastle was a big, hard team to beat, and they did it.
Yeah. So Newcastle play Tottenham tomorrow, December the 10th. And speaking of Tottenham, it is the history of the Tottenham.
The Tottenham history.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, West Ham, I don't know. I think I didn't watch the game, so I don't know if they deserved the 2 scrappy goals. But they did score 2 scrappy goals against Tottenham, let's be honest.
It's very scrappy.
Yeah.
Tottenham made the mistakes that they did. I mean, it was very much ping pong, like just the ball bouncing here and there, and then they just getting the goals.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I want to blame Tottenham. Apparently they started off the game pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, even Romero came back in the team and everything, right? But yeah, history of the Tottenham caught up to them, and then. Yeah, but Ange Postecoglou is not looking as good of a manager as he was at the start of the season.
Yeah, he just looks naive to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like when you're winning games and your team has like a history of capitulating.
Yeah.
You've seen that this season. This is the 3rd time that they've taken a lead and lost the game.
Yep.
Like, just shut up shop and park the bus, do whatever you can to
change
keep
the
it.
tactics. He never changes the tactics.
He doesn't.
It's kind of the same thing with Ten Hag. Ten Hag doesn't make subs. But this guy just doesn't change tactics.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing to see. And maybe he hasn't really prepped different tactics for different situations, and then he's just like, play whatever you want, play the way we normally do, and then we'll see about it. I don't know.
But you have
Makes
players
no
like
sense.
Christian Romero, like let's be honest, he's a shithouse defender, right? Like not in terms of ability, like shithousing in terms of like he's like one of those like dark arts, pure Argentine defender. He would fit in well with the Simeone team.
Yep.
Like you have him, why don't you use him to do these like dirty plays and try to close down people? I don't understand. Like, you have players who could do that job. It's not that they don't have any defenders in the club. They have defenders in the club. Like, use them.
They have decent players in the club. They have a decent squad. Like, even after the injuries, they have a pretty decent squad that they can put up, but it's just not working out for them. So there is something that he needs to change, but it's not happening. Yeah. So, I mean, that's them. And then
I mean, I'm excited for this title race, to be honest. Like, I usually, like, historically, I haven't kept up with all the games in the same game week. I just watch United games, but ever since we started this thing, like, I'm watching more games live and instead of just watching the highlights, and it's exciting to see how the season's gonna end up because there's so many different teams that could actually win the league. Yeah. So
it's a really close competition up top. Like, the top 6 or 7 are like very close in terms of points. There's not that big of a gap that it used to be. Like, City used to like dominate the start of the season and get ahead like 5-10 points, and maybe Arsenal would be like behind them like 2 or 3 points, and like or someone second place would be close enough. But this season's gonna be interesting, and I would love to see what happened with Leicester. It happened with Villa, but it is what it is, as they say. And
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And we won't have a podcast for, I think, the next 3 weeks. But by the time we're back, we're gonna have a lot of those holiday fixtures. It's gonna be a very busy 3 weeks, and when we come back, I'm sure we'll have more to discuss about this title race and where it ends up.
We'll have a lot to discuss, and I think we might bring some surprises. So watch out for those. We'll still have videos posted like for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Like, we'll have some recorded with pre-recorded beforehand, but they're just not going to be the same format that we usually do. So that's about that. I guess. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, And happy holidays to the folks out there.
Yeah, happy holidays, everyone.
See you later.
Peace.
Peace.